Welcome! This is a basic introduction to the Deribit liquidation process. This guide will cover the position margin requirements to avoid liquidation, the Deribit liquidation process, incremental liquidation, and account bankruptcy. When trading leveraged products, even on low leverage, it is wise to know how liquidations are handled on the platform you are trading on. And of course, it is always a good idea to know where your current positions or any open orders will be liquidated. Liquidations happen when there are no longer enough funds or margin in your account to support your open positions. Your positions are then taken out of your control and closed or liquidated by the platform. Another name for this is a margin call. The possibility of being liquidated is one of the biggest differences between trading leveraged derivatives and trading unleveraged on a spot exchange. At what point this happens depends on several factors, such as the margin requirements for the instrument you are trading, how large your position size is, and of course, how much margin you have. On Deribit, when your maintenance margin requirement becomes higher than your account equity, your positions will be liquidated. You can see how much of both your maintenance margin and initial margin you're currently using in the top right of the interface here. When the IM or initial margin reaches 100%, you will no longer be able to place new orders that would increase your position size. When the maintenance margin, or MM for short, reaches 100%, this is when the liquidation process will begin. The system will take over your account and you will not be able to do any trading, including closing positions yourself, until the process is complete. Please note, the equity in your account is calculated based not on the last traded price of each instrument, but on the mark price of each instrument. As you can see in the image, that account has an IM, or initial margin, and a maintenance margin, or MM, well below the account limits. And so, the trader can feel free to place more orders or increase their position and are not close to being liquidated at this time. Unlike some other platforms, Deribit uses an incremental liquidation system, meaning the liquidation engine will first try to liquidate only a portion of the position in order to try and get the maintenance margin below 100% again. If the partial liquidation is successful in reducing the maintenance margin required to a level below the account equity again, the liquidation process will stop and any of the position which has not yet been liquidated will remain open. Of course, even with these increments, it's still possible the price continues to move against the position and it is eventually fully liquidated, but these incremental stops at least give the trader a chance that some of their position will be saved. This can also have the side effect of slightly smaller wicks caused by liquidations compared to some other platforms, as the position does not go immediately from an open state to bankrupt. Liquidation orders, i.e. any orders placed by the system to liquidate a position, are charged an extra fee. These extra fees are paid into an insurance fund that pays for any deficits of accounts that became bankrupt after liquidation. Using the liquidation fund, a negative account equity can be brought back to zero without requiring the trader to deposit more to cover the shortfall. We'll cover the insurance fund in more detail in a separate lesson. These extra liquidation fees mean it is usually more cost effective to try and exit positions with proper stop losses, rather than using the liquidation as a stop loss by itself. There is an estimated liquidation price displayed both in the order confirmation screen and in the positions tab on the futures page once the position is open. This is an estimate of when the account would enter the liquidation process, assuming that there are no changes to the current position or there are no new positions added. These values will change if the position is increased or decreased, or if margin is withdrawn from or deposited to the account. In summary, liquidation occurs when the remaining funds left in your account are no longer enough to support the losses of open positions. The process involves the liquidation engine taking over full control of your account while it incrementally closes your positions in order to bring the maintenance margin requirement lower than the account equity. Once this process is completed, if there are any funds left, these remain in the account and a portion of your position may even remain open. This was a summary of the liquidation process on Deribit. Thank you very much for watching.